Okay, I'm trying to troubleshoot this problem that I've been telling you about. The Cloud Sync is just not working correctly. So let me explain. This is computer 2. This is my Windows 10 computer. All my playlist work of what I'm doing is being done on my MacBook Pro 2018, which I've listed in my notes as computer 1. And then I have an iOS device, which is iOS 01 device. So again, this is computer 2 right now. And when I was doing my playlist work in the MacBook Pro computer, computer 1, I was watching the Windows 10 computer to see that the sync was happening appropriately. The first thing I noticed is I started off with the list of 602 tracks. Okay, this was originally 602 tracks, and what I'm doing as I'm using keyboard shortcuts on the MacBook Pro to copy a track into a playlist like here, and then after I copy it, I confirm that it's there, and then I go ahead and delete it out of the master playlist. So what will happen is that I'll fill up these playlists using the palette banks, and once I'm done, again, moving it or copying it to the new playlist, I delete it out of the original playlist. So that way I don't have the duplicate tracks and I know that it's been properly moved. So the first thing I noticed is that I was missing a track at only 16 into it. And the name of the track is Mojave. So I've been searching, I searched the current playlist for it, and I noticed, oh, it's on the MacBook Pro, it definitely deleted out of the playlist and it moved to T House built 08 out of T Prog House built 08. Okay, it moved out, but it did not, it did not on the sync, it did not sync it to T Prog House built 08. It didn't push it out, and it didn't properly delete it out of this list. So here's what's strange. Notice, I think it was 478 when I first searched for it. That what's very strange is that on the MacBook Pro, at one point in time, since I'm going sequentially in order, going through each track and dividing them up. See, now it moved to 482. It did not. Why would it be 482 now here? And then what's even more strange, why is it moving down the list? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So again, it didn't push the sync to the correct playlist, and it didn't delete out of this playlist on the Windows 10 computer, computer 2, and now it's moving down the playlist, which is even more strange. So please explain to me what the heck is going on. This doesn't make any sense. I'm going to pause just a second, and again, see, it just went to 486. When I first noticed this on this computer, it was like at position 20. So for some reason, it's jumping 2 tracks at a time all the way down the list. Does not make sense. The strangest thing ever. So the other part I want to point out is I'm going to go through each one of these real quick to show you that they did not delete, some of these did not delete out of the list because the math doesn't make sense. Again, I started off with 602, and if I bring up the calculator, there's 17 tracks right here, and so if you have 591, I'm sorry, there's 15 tracks here, not 17. On the Mac, there should be 8 here and 8 here, but here it's 7 and 8, so that's 15. So 591 plus 15 is 606. So there's a 4-track discrepancy. And the 4 tracks are, we know for one is Mojave, right? So that should be there, but it's not. But I'm going to go now one by one. So I'm going to go Cloud, Walker. Okay, so that properly deleted, moved. Over you, that properly deleted, moved. Like this, we'll use the VIP edit. That properly moved. Gravitate, this should be one that didn't. So that one's sitting in position 591, which again doesn't make sense because it should have been, when it was deleted, it would have deleted at the top of the list because I was going in sequential order. Okay, where the end begins, that one properly deleted. Rapture we know is there because it's at the top of the list. And it's the May Row remix, which is there. Unfinished Sympathy. Okay, that properly moved. Kickers. That properly moved. Lullaby of Clubland or whatever. That one did not move. It did not delete properly out of this list. Strangers, or I should say it didn't sync properly. Strangers, Carl B. Bootleg. So that's another one that did not delete. And I think that's it, but we'll check the other ones. In the end of the spectrum. That one deleted. Game Girl. Tequila. That one properly removed. About Us. That one properly moved. Dirty Sun. That one properly moved. So that's the issue that I'm facing. The workflow that I use, again, using keyboard shortcuts, I'll highlight a track. I'll do Control 1 for this palette, Control 2, Control 3, Control 4, etc. And after I do that, I just hit delete to confirm deletion out of the playlist. And those syncs are not they're not 100%. This is the problem that I'm seeing. And this is a major problem because if I'm curating playlists and they're wrong, and I do hours, days worth of work, and to know that one computer it's right, one computer it's completely and wrong, you can't have that. This Cloud Sync has got to work. Otherwise, why am I paying for this service?